Greetings, the Hijabi Gamer here, and one interesting thing that I've noticed during my gaming live streams is that people seem to like it when I bring up things like unexpected facts about Islam, or my life as a Muslim woman in America, or my favorite, real Egypt versus movie Egypt. Yes, there are cars in Egypt. Lots, and there are lots of cars. You're not going to see anybody riding a camel to work. Also, I'm still waiting, but there has not yet been a battle between Autobots and Decepticons outside the pyramids. They're still perfectly fine. But I can still hope. So I thought, you know what? If people like this, why not try to make a video about it? If people find it interesting, let me know in the comments. I'll make more. If not, again, let me know in the comments. But go easy on me. This is meant to be a sort of light-hearted, humorous approach, you know. The Hijabi Gamer presents unexpected facts about Islam. Emphasis on the gamer and not, serious scholarly discussion in depth about the Muslim religion. How, you know, with Quranic recitation. I'm not a scholar. You know, I'm no expert. And my Arabic is pretty lousy. I speak Egyptian Arabic, which, if you happen to be Arab and not Egyptian, you tend to enjoy teasing us Egyptians about how we speak Arabic. It's masjid, not masjid. Do I look intimidating? Anyway, let me know in the comments. So, here goes nothing. Unexpected facts about Islam, brought to you by the Hijabi Gamer. Alright, first off, why do women pray behind the men? Now, I've actually had people asking me about this. In fact, a guy I worked with a few years back told me about how he had visited a mosque and how he had found the experience really interesting and he had enjoyed it. However, one thing had bothered him, and that was the women praying behind the men. It made him feel like women were inferior to men, until I explained why, which will surprise you. It has nothing to do with inferiority or superiority or any of that. You want to know why the women pray behind the men? Pretty simple. Women don't want men staring at their butts while they're trying to pray. That's it. If you've seen Muslims pray, you know there's a lot of bending over, kneeling, your butt is in the air. Women don't want men staring at their butts. Men don't want women's butts in their faces while they're trying to focus on prayer. Even if you happen to be one of those women who does like it when men stare at their butts, you're supposed to be focused on God and prayer and not the hot guy 2 rows behind you. For shame. That's about it. It's meant so that neither gender is distracted. It's not meant to favor the men or favor the women. It's meant to help both. Which is why I find these progressive feminist Muslim women who are shouting about how they want to lead the men in prayer, I don't like it. I think they're very selfish because they don't. First off, do you understand why women are praying behind the men? And second, leading the prayer is not about turning yourself into a celebrity. It's not all about you, okay? You need to think about the people who are praying behind you. And it's already difficult enough remaining focused on prayer. For most people, it's not easy. I mean, as someone who has a very short attention span, I can tell you, it's not easy. So, that's the reason. It's about distraction and helping you focus and not about men are better than women or women are better than men. In fact, according to Islam, in front of God, men and women are equal. Different, but equal. Okay? That's what the religion says. Anyway. Another thing that I've come across is most Muslims are Arabs. This isn't true. Nope. Most Muslims are not Arab. I'm not making it up. Arabs are actually a minority. Only about 20% or so, I think it's even less, of Muslims are Arab. Now, don't get me wrong, I happen to be Arab. Egyptians are Arabs. Yes, we speak Arabic. I've actually had people coming up to me saying, hey, Kat, do you read hieroglyphics? Can you speak Egyptian? No, Arabic. Okay, so I happen to be Arab. But most Muslims are not Arab. Indonesia, Malaysia, Sub-Saharan Africa, Russia. Now keep in mind, these are not immigrants, okay? Russian Muslims. I mean, we've been talking a lot about the Uyghurs. These are Chinese Muslims. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of immigrant Muslims in Europe, for example. But there are also a lot of Muslims who, were born in Europe. Muslims controlled portions of Europe for a very long time. I myself, I was born in the United States. My family is from Egypt, but I am considered an American. When I go to Egypt, they're like, "Ya ajnabiya, you foreigner." And trust me, more than 2 weeks in Egypt and I will go utterly insane. Without my Red Bull and my consoles, 2 weeks are hard enough as it is. Oh God. And my cat. My cat is in America. So, yes, most Muslims are not Arab. Now, this misconception may come across because a lot of non-Arabs will learn Arabic. You see, the Quran, the Muslim holy book, is in Arabic, which I happen to have one right here. And this is Arabic. It's actually read right to left. And yes, it does look like, some might think it looks like hieroglyphics. So a lot of non-Arabs will learn Arabic because while you can read a translation, the Quran cannot really be appreciated except in its original language, Arabic. It's actually a really beautiful book if you can understand it. I don't understand all of it, but what I do know, it's actually really beautiful. But that's why a lot of people may think most Muslims are Arab, but it's not true. And like I said, you could look it up for yourselves. On the other hand, most Arabs are Muslim. Not all. This is important. Not all Arabs are Muslim. So when you come across an Arab, don't automatically assume they are Muslim. I know Egyptian Christians. My uncle's driver in Egypt, Rida, who's a very nice man, is a very religious Christian. So don't get me wrong. One thing, in Egypt, everybody has a driver. In Egypt, traffic laws are more suggestions than laws. My own father will not drive in Egypt. Most of my family does not drive in Egypt. It's an experience. Yeah. So, keep in mind, remember, Christianity originated in the Middle East. So there are Arab Christians. But most Arabs are Muslim. Learned anything yet? Finally, I thought I would cover a little bit on the whole forced marriage, arranged marriage, women forced into marriage thing, because a lot of people have asked me about that, as a woman. And while, don't get me wrong, a lot of women are being forced into marriages in the Middle East in the name of Islam. It's not the religion. People are using the religion to do things, but it's not in the religion. And in fact, the religion makes it clear women should not be forced into marriage. A woman can refuse to marry someone for something as simple as how the man smells. Though, given my experience with some customers, it's not a simple thing. No. Why are there some people so against bathing? But yes, a woman, according to the religion, should never be forced into marriage. Regardless. I know there's circumstances I can't bring up on YouTube. No. In fact, the entire concept of arranged marriage, at least here in America, would surprise you. It's basically, if my parents were to go to the mosque and be like, "Hey, my daughter wants to get married. Any hot guys out there?" Except I don't think my dad would say hot guys. And someone would be like, "Yes, so-and-so's son is interested." And you might get together. Now, a woman and a man can't be by themselves, because if you put a man and a woman alone together, things might happen. But I was engaged for a while, and if you'd like me to make a video about that, let me know in the comments. I'll tell you about my experiences being engaged. However, for me, it was, we were together, we would go to the park, my parents were a couple feet behind us, so we had enough privacy to be able to talk together, but we weren't completely alone. So that's basically arranged marriage. If things work out, you might decide to get married. If things don't work out, there is no pressure on either person. Okay? In fact, Islam gave women rights that the West would not grant women until like the 20th century. Yes, women can ask for divorces in Islam. Don't get me wrong. The religion frowns on divorce. It's not encouraged. But that's the same for both men and women. A man can't just randomly marry anybody they want and the next day divorce them. It's not encouraged. No. Divorce, frowned on. Okay? Allowed, but frowned on. Women can own their own property. You know, my mother has a job. Every cent she makes in her job is hers. Not her husband's, hers. And in fact, Muslim women keep their names. So if I were to ever get married, I would keep my last name. Which is why, like, my mom has a different last name than me. Because you keep your father's name. The best example, honestly, is the life of Sayidah Khadijah. Sayidah Khadijah, I'll put a link in the description. I found an interesting website. But Sayidah Khadijah was the first wife of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Okay? She was a wealthy businesswoman. Now, keep in mind, this was 1400 years ago in Saudi Arabia. Okay? She was a wealthy businesswoman. She was 40 years old. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was not a prophet at the time. He was just a guy. He was 25 years old, and he worked for her. She had had numerous proposals. Men had proposed to her, and she had turned them all down. Then she met him. He was running caravans for her. She was so impressed by his honesty, trustworthiness, and how good a man he was. She sent someone. Basically, when it comes down to it, she asked him to marry her. Okay? Let me say that again. 1400 years ago, in Saudi Arabia, Sayidah Khadijah was 40 years old and a businesswoman. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was 25 and worked for her. She asked him to marry her. It was like through a friend. She sent a friend proposing to him. Okay? Their marriage was monogamous. In a time when men married multiple women, when he was married to her, he was only married to her. Yes. Not making it up. I will put the link in the description below, but even before I'd seen that website, I had known about her. Some of the strongest women in history are in Islamic history. Sayidah Khadijah. My own namesake, Sayyidah Aisha, was just a kick-butt awesome woman who took no BS from anybody. I mean, I take great pride in my name. My name is Aisha, and she was an amazing woman. I mean, our name means full of life or long-lived, and she had a lot of energy. She was a phenomenal woman. I mean, these women would put modern-day feminists to shame. Some of the most amazing women I heard about when I was growing up were women in Islamic history, or my own family. But I'll leave that to another video. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you want more videos like this? Did you like it? Comment down below. And I hope to see you in the tower, which, by the way, I've shown my own family the tower in Destiny and Destiny 2, and they seem to think it's in Morocco. My parents visited Morocco, and they said the tower looks like Morocco. If you'd like, I'll make a video about, there's some Arabic influences in Destiny 2. Someone definitely at least knows some Arabic who works on Destiny. Anyway, let me know if you'd like that as well, and I hope to see you there.